Recipe for Disaster, a reinvention of the classic Tycoon game. Or is it? Will a recipe for disaster leave you wanting a more fulfilling experience in restaurant management? Or will it sate your appetite for the trials and tribulations of waitstaff, menus, furniture, overflowing toilets, and more? Watch on and find out. My name is Thoraxe, and this is Strategy for Busy People. If you've got a few minutes, I'll tell you what to play. I've played just about every variation of Tycoon and Sim game out there since the 90s. Sim Coaster, Sim Ant, Pizza Tycoon, and more. I've seen nearly all of them. So when I got the opportunity to poke at Recipe for Disaster by Dapper Penguin Studios, I jumped right in. I recently reviewed Rise of Industry, which is another Dapper Penguin title, and it came out before Recipe for Disaster. Had the developer learned anything in the interim? Well, yes and no. Since I've got 10.5 hours in this title, you can bet it wasn't too bad. While there is an open-ended do-whatever-you-want mode in the game, I focused on the campaign mode, if you can call it that. Each level, for lack of a better description, involves a specific scenario with some obstacles that you have to overcome. For example, you got stuck with your cousin's brother's aunt's lazy dog's nephew's pizza parlor, and you had to feed 4,000 people without any chairs. Okay, that's not actually a scenario, but you get the picture. Most of the old-school sim games don't go into a lot of depth or detail. From what I remember of, say, Sim Farm, you just built a farm and had to manage some weather and some other things, but it wasn't all that deep. Recipe for Disaster, on the other hand, your crew has a number of different skills which all need to be taken into consideration as you staff up your restaurant. For example, the person you have waiting tables should probably have a high skill level in serving. A low skill level means that patrons might be unsatisfied or served slowly, which impacts their satisfaction. And if customer satisfaction is an important mission objective, that cheap waiter or waitress with low serving skills might not really be what you want. Along with the skills in various dimensions, like being good on the fryer, crew can have various personality traits. A rude, impatient, or clumsy server probably isn't a great choice, even if their serving skill level is high. Along with managing your crew, you also have to manage the menu. The system of designing recipes for your menu items is actually pretty trick. You can choose different ingredients to go into different cooking stations that then ultimately come together to make the final dish. Combining certain ingredients grants a recipe modifier status, like savory or sweet or exotic. Finally, you can set the markup on the recipe, just like in a real restaurant. As patrons come and go, you will find that their various desires are either met or unmet by the things on your menu. Oh, drat. You have a lot of customers looking for boiled lobster. Better create a recipe with boiled lobster. But you don't have a stovetop to cook it on. That's where the construction part of the game comes into play. You can buy restaurant equipment in the form of different cooking apparatus, storage, and, of course, customer-facing furniture and decorations. Your patrons don't like an ugly place and probably don't want to see your food storage in the dining area. Nicer lighting, nicer furniture, and other decorations all contribute to the ambiance, which impacts customer satisfaction and, ultimately, your popularity. You're not just in this for the money, are you? Each day, in restaurant terms, involves a pre-open state where you can do the majority of your construction, but you can also buy furniture and equipment during the day, so I'm not sure that this pre-open state really offers much value. Managing the quantity of ingredients you have on hand can become a challenge, but it seems like food never goes bad, so it's not as much of a challenge as you might think. You know, I never tried to put a refrigerator outside. Various interesting events crop up from time to time, like a food critic visiting, an offer for a staff yoga session to reduce their stress, and so forth. In some cases, these events are objectives. Get a 5-star rating from a food critic. But in other cases, they're just things to contemplate whether you want to gamble on or not. But make sure you keep your restaurant clean, because the health inspector might show up and fine you. Yes, the stamina and stress of your employees can play a critical role in the performance of your restaurant. If employees don't get enough break time or are too stressed out, they may have a literal breakdown or quit. For whatever reason, I didn't find the game very challenging. It may have taken a while to beat the scenarios, but I really had to struggle with them. Although, for some scenarios, the key to winning was sometimes to do weird things, like serve a bunch of meals for $0 in order to get 5-star reviews. Occasionally, you would also find customers complaining about things not being on the menu when they definitely were. Before I give my final verdict, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to share with your friends. Agree with me? Disagree with me? Or want to see other content? Let me know in the comments below. Want to try this game yourself? Check out my humble affiliate link below. And if you want to support me in making more of these videos, become a patron on Patreon. Your support really makes a difference. The final verdict. Overall, this game is very solid. It's entertaining, and the scenarios are fairly varied in terms of the things you need to achieve. It kept me in it for over 10 hours, so clearly it wasn't that bad. On my trademark 3-point score scale of avoid, meh, and I forgot to eat, this game is all about cooking, which I also like to do. It didn't quite keep me from eating, but I did find myself eager to spend a few minutes here and there whenever I could, just to advance a scenario. If it were a real restaurant, I would totally recommend it. Hey, pass the salt?